Okay, go. Step back just a bit. Yep. Okay, let's just get back just a little. All right, so McDonald's, TGI Fridays, Chili's, your local neighborhood grill. They all sell burgers, fries, drinks, and other menu items at different prices. There's a familiar scenario that's probably played out for you more than one time. You go to your local mom and pop restaurant, you sit down and start browsing the menu. First you look at the items to see what they offer, and more importantly, you start to look at the cost of these items. You see a cheeseburger being sold for $5.99 and scoff at the price, since you can go to your local fast food chain and get a cheeseburger for $2. So, why should you pay an extra $4, you ask yourself? You may have even gotten angry that they would have the nerve to sell a cheeseburger at 3 times the price of another place. So why do different restaurants have different prices, and how exactly do they come up with those prices? So the most important factor is how much money it costs a business to actually operate. No two places are equal, and in your own life, you know how much your rent, car insurance, gas, health insurance, monthly food expenditures, and other living costs associated with you are. You know you need to earn a certain amount of money at your job to survive with those costs. Running a restaurant is no different. Rent has to be paid just like your apartment, and just like your apartment, there isn't a flat rent fee associated with operating a restaurant. Depending on the size of the place and the location in a particular city, rent can vary wildly. So, as can the price of how much it costs to buy food from distributors. So what kind of costs are there in running a restaurant that affects the price of food? So there are a few main costs to take into consideration. The big two are food costs, so how much does it cost how much does it cost for you to buy your food weekly, and labor costs, how much does it cost to pay hourly and salary employees, plus all of their benefits if offered, like paid time off, health insurance, 401ks, and labor costs on average are around 30%. So after the big two, you have a plethora of other costs associated, like equipment repairs, chemicals for cleanings, office supplies, like printer ink, envelopes, staples, banking fees, credit card fees, and many, many more. So, let's start with food costs. Typical food cost for an item is 28 to 35%. To help control these costs, you determine the quality of the product you're going to serve. So does your burger get served on a thick, fancy artisan bun, or does it get served on a simple plain bun that costs less to buy? Is the size of the burger patty going to be 1.6 ounces like it is at McDonald's, or 3.2 ounces like it is here at Valencia College? Do you use 2 slices of tomatoes, or do you just use 1? What are the toppings do you use, and how much of them do you use? So, to start to help figure out what to sell an item for, you'll first figure out your perfect cheeseburger. So, we've got our gourmet cheeseburger and our normal cheeseburger. So you'll decide that you're going to use a fancy artisan bun at 50 cents instead of a plain bun at 15 cents. You're going to use a slice of Gouda and a slice of Monterey Jack at 40 cents instead of a slice of American cheese at 10 cents. You'll use 2 slices of tomato at 16 cents instead of 1 slice at 8 cents. You'll use a bed of spring mix for 10 cents instead of iceberg lettuce for 5. 3 slices of onions for 9 cents instead of a slice of onion for 3. You're going to go ahead and go with the 3.2 ounce burger at 63 cents instead of the 1.6 ounce burger for 31. And you'll decide to go with garlic aioli for 10 cents instead of a squirt of ketchup and mustard for 5 cents. So the total cost of your gourmet cheeseburger is $1.73, while your normal cheeseburger is 77 cents. So, now, how do you figure out what to sell this for? Well, calculating your food costs, you take the item amount and you divide that by whatever your food cost percent is. So here we're going to go with 30%. So for our gourmet burger, you're going to take the $1.73 and you'll divide it by 0.3. So in order to sell that item at a 30% food cost, you have to sell it for $5.77. And your normal cheeseburger at 77 cents, you have to sell at $2.56. So this is pretty much how all restaurants figure out basic food costs in general. Another way to reduce costs is negotiated pricing. McDonald's sells an estimated 5 billion burgers a year worldwide, and because of the incredibly high amount of business they give to a supplier, they can negotiate pricing down much cheaper than a local mom and pop can from the same supplier. A small place that only sells 600 burgers a week isn't going to get special pricing like McDonald's does when they serve 68 million people a day worldwide. So food cost percent is a good baseline, and not the end all when it comes to calculating food costs. All other costs associated with running a business factor in as well. Outside of food, labor is the second biggest expenditure for business. If you plan to pay your employees better than minimum wage, provide them with health insurance, 401ks, paid time off, sick leave, and other various incentives, that money has to come from somewhere. And that somewhere is the cost of food. And so these are just a few small amounts and some insights into how restaurants decide on what they're going to charge for their item menus. So I hope next time you go to a restaurant, you don't get angry and you understand that there's different costs associated with running businesses and no two places are equal.